Namaste students, I am Dr. Aziz Mohammed Khan from Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science. Today I am going to discuss about the topic parameters of food that affect microbial growth, and the subject name is Food and Biotechnology, BSc PT 6th semester in Food and Biotechnology. Today I am going to discuss about the parameters of food that affect the microbial growth. So there are various factors which affect the growth of microorganisms in food. They support the growth of microorganisms. Okay, so what are these factors? So there are two factors which are important in the growth of microorganism. The first one is intrinsic factor, and the second factor is extrinsic factor. What are the intrinsic factors? Intrinsic factors are the factors which are directly related to the food, okay, which are related to the physiological property and biological property of food. The extrinsic factors are the factors which are related to the environmental factors, okay, they are not related to food. The food environment of the food is known as the extrinsic factor. So first we talk about the intrinsic factors. So the first parameter is pH, hydrogen ion concentration, that is pH. So most, what is the pH? pH is the potential of hydrogen. So we are well known about the pH. Most bacteria grow at neutral pH or weakly alkaline pH, usually between 6.8 to 7.5. But some bacteria can grow within a narrow pH range, 4.5 and 9. Example is Salmonella. Other microorganisms, especially yeast, mold, and other bacteria, grow within a wide pH range. Example, molds from within 1.5, 11, and some yeast can grow between 1.5 to 8.5. So this slide indicates that there are various ranges for the growth of different kinds of microorganisms. So many of the pH, many of the microbes can grow at their particular pH, their suitable pH. Okay, microbes grow all at their suitable pH. If they, they found the suitable pH in the food, these microbes can grow on the food. These are the pH values on which the food must be kept, and below or above this pH range, microbes can grow. Okay, such as food, milk, fish, fruits, vegetables. So these are their pH on which they must be kept, and below and above they can be spoiled. So there are some microbes which can affect the growth, which can affect the condition of the food, and these microbes are grown in various pH ranges. If these microbes are grow in acidic environment, they are known as the acidophilic microorganism. And what does it mean? The pH must be 2 to below the 7, and below 7 pH are known as the acidophilic microorganism. Yeast and molds can grow under the acid conditions, and other microorganisms such as Vibrio cholera are sensitive to acids, and they prefer alkaline conditions. Most bacteria are killed in strong acid condition, and strong alkaline condition is also not suitable. So they grow in normal pH, but the mycobacteria can survive in higher pH conditions. The next factor is moisture content. Moisture content is the directly related to the water content of the food. Okay, so moisture is effect of moisture in the food microbiology concerned with the water activity. It is known as the water activity of the food. Okay, the amount. What is the water activity? The water activity is the amount of free water in the food. Okay, if there is any free water in the food material, it is known as the water activity of food. The amount of free water is very important for the growth of microorganism. If there is a lack of free water, microorganism will not survive. But if there is a free water, now these microbes can grow very well. Water activity is defined as the vapor pressure of a food substance to that of my water at the same temperature. So, according to this theory, the water activity is equal to 1. Okay. Uh, so the food products must have the water activity below 1, and saturated salt solution has a water activity of 0.75. Salting and drying reduce the water activity of food products. So there are some food which have some specific water activity such as raw meat and milk. They have water activity of 0.99 to 1. It means that they have higher content of water, and they can and these microorganisms can grow very well on the raw milk and the raw meat. Okay. Next is luncheon meat, that it has the water activity of 0.95. Boiled ham, sliced bacon has a water activity of 0.90, and dried grains have water activity of 0.80. So these these food materials are the best source for the growth of microorganisms. So this is the major factor which are affecting the growth of microorganisms. The next factor is the nutrient content of the food. So for the growth, microorganisms require proteins, carbohydrate, lipid, water, energy, nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus, vitamin, and minerals. If they found these nutrients in the food, okay, if the microorganism find these nutrients in the food, microorganism can grow very well on the food. So the nutrient content of the food also plays important role, such as milk, meat, eggs are good source of nutrients. So microbes can grow very well on this, and if microbes will grow on this, these food products can be spoiled very early. Next factor is the antimicrobial substance. What are the antimicrobial substances? Antimicrobial substances are the substances which inhibit the growth of microorganisms. Okay, if the food have these antimicrobial agent, then microbes cannot grow on the food. Okay, these are the if these inhibitors are found in the food, these microbes cannot grow on the food. And what does these inhibitors includes? The example are lectinin and anticoliform factors and lysozymes, which are found in the some food. Okay. Next intrinsic factor of food include biological structure of the food. If biological structure of food has some specific functions, some specific features, they can inhibit the growth of microorganism. Okay, for example, meat has fascia. What is the fascia? Fascia is the skin of the meat. Okay, this is the membrane skin of the meat. If it is present, it will inhibit the microbial entry. Okay, it will not allow the microorganisms to enter. Similarly, milk has eggs have cell and inner membrane have this egg has a cell which inhibit the growth of microorganism. Okay, it this cell provide the protection against microorganism. So these are the important factors. Now we consider the extrinsic factors of the food biotechnology which are responsible for the growth of microorganisms on food. And these factors are the environmental factors, not the food factors. So extrinsic factors are the environmental factor which present the growth of microorganism. So first factor is temperature. Different kinds of microorganisms have different requirement of the growth and they need different temperature ranges. So various kinds of microorganisms can grow at various temperature. Okay, they need a particular temperature range for the growth. So on the basis of the temperature ranges, the bacteria can be divided into the some categories, such as the first one is psychrophilic. What are these psychrophilic? Psychrophilic are the microorganisms which can grow at 20 degrees centigrade and can also grow at minus 10 degrees centigrade in the frozen unfrozen media. Okay, so these are the psychrophilic which can grow at very lower temperature. Okay, and these microbes can also spoil the food in lower conditions also. Okay, as we know that some microbes cannot grow at lower temperature, but psychrophile can grow at lower temperature. Similarly, the mesophilic are the microorganisms which grow between 25 degrees centigrade to 40 degrees centigrade. This is the mesophilic. Um, this is the medium temperature. Okay, 25 degrees centigrade to 40 degrees centigrade is the medium temperature. Okay, and some microbes, very lot of microorganisms can survive in this temperature range. Okay, so microbes which can grow between 25 to 40 degrees centigrade are known as the mesophilic microorganism. And most of the pathogenic bacteria are member of the mesophilic bacteria. Next class is the thermophilic. Thermophilic are the bacteria microorganisms which can grow above 45 degrees centigrade. Above 45 degrees centigrade means they can tolerate up to 70, 80. Okay, different types of bacteria can different have different tolerable activity, 70, 80. So they are known as a thermophilic bacteria because 70 degrees centigrade, 80 degrees centigrade, 50 degrees centigrade are very higher temperature. But some microbes can survive this temperature range and are known as the thermophilic bacteria. Thermo means temperature, philic means loving. They love higher temperature. Mesophilic means normal, medium. Philic means love. These microbes love normal temperature. Psychro means low and philic means they love low temperature. So they are known as the psychophilics. Some bacteria which are examples of thermophilic include Bacillus streptothermophilus, which can survive ultra high temperature, approx 135 degrees centigrade for 2 seconds. Can survive. It can survive. So there are lots of examples of the thermophilic bacteria. Next factor of extrinsic factor include the concentration of gases in the environment. The gases in what are the gases? The gases are the normal gases on which the microbes have requirement. And which gas is that? The gas is oxygen. The requirement of oxygen is very important for the growth of microorganism. Okay, so various microorganisms require the growth either high oxygen and low oxygen and absence of oxygen. If they require high oxygen, they are aerobic. They require low oxygen, they are they are microaerobic, and they need no oxygen, they are anaerobic. Some microbes may grow either in one oxygen tension or in the absence of oxygen. They are known as the facultative anaerobic. So aerobes, what are the aerobes? Aerobes grow in the presence of air and that contains molecular oxygen, and obligate aerobes require oxygen for the growth and carry out aerobic respiration. What are the obligate? They need only oxygen. They cannot survive in the absence of oxygen. They are obligate aerobes. Microaerobes are the organisms which can grow only a reduced concentration of oxygen, a little concentration of oxygen, and aerobes need higher concentration of oxygen. Facultative aerobes are the organisms which can grow in the presence or absence of air. If oxygen is not available, they will carry the anaerobic respiration. So they are facultative. They can be both aerobic condition. If they do not found any there is any oxygen, they can go for the anaerobic respiration. Then they are the medium between aerobes and anaerobes. So they are facultative anaerobes. What are the anaerobes? Anaerobes are the microorganisms which do not require the oxygen. Do not require oxygen for their growth, which do not require oxygen for their respiration. Okay, so they need no oxygen and they grow only in the absence of the air. Strict anaerobes are very sensitive to oxygen, and even to a brief exposure of oxygen will kill such microbes. Okay, some of these anaerobes can be killed in the presence of my oxygen. Okay, so these anaerobes cannot tolerate oxygen concentration. The next factor is relative humidity. Relative humidity. What is the relative humidity? Relative humidity is the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. Okay. Now, a moisture in the environment. Okay. Not in the food. Humidity is the moisture in the environment, that is known as the humidity. Food with low water activity placed at high humidity environment take up water, increase their water activity and get spoiled easily. So this is really very similar to the water activity and moisture content factor. Some microbes which have high humidity requirement can spoil the food. Okay, some spoil the food when they find the higher find the higher content of food which has higher water activity. So they can grow on these types of food and can spoil the food. So our topic is over here. We will meet in another video tutorial.